Hello there, my name's Claire and this is Stitch'em. So thank you so much for joining me today for another video. Now today's video is a Friday Sews video, so I'm here to talk to you all about what I've been up to in terms of sewing for the last couple of weeks. I was absent last week, apologies for that. Life got in the way a little bit and I was feeling a little bit under the weather, so wasn't really up for filming and editing, but I have been doing lots of sewing, so I'm really excited to share with you what I've been up to and my plans for the week ahead, etc. So if that interests you, please stick around with me today. So before I get started, I'll just give you an overview of what I've got on today. I am wearing my Helen's Closet Gilbert shirt in a viscose fabric that's got a little bit of stretch in, so it's uber comfy. I mean, this blouse doesn't really, or shirt doesn't need stretch as such, but it has, and it makes it super comfortable, and it's in this really gorgeous floral print. I don't pick this one out very often. I think it's a sort of a styling issue. I'm still yet to find my perfect skirt pattern, so if anybody has any skirt suggestions, I would really love to hear it. What I am after is a skirt that doesn't have too much gathering around the waist, because I find that just kind of adds volume to my waist and hips, which is kind of my biggest area. But I do like a skirt that has got some, A-line, or kind of, isn't not a pencil skirt is what I'm after. So any suggestions, do let me know. I have tried the Bunbury skirt, which I love on other people, and it's okay, that pattern on me, but it has got a little bit too much gathering. I'm looking at possibly trying the True Bias Mauve skirt, I think it is. I've been talking to lovely Bex from What Beck Sews, and she's made a couple of versions of this and really likes it, so that's possibly one that I'm thinking about. But any suggestions, I'd be really grateful for them. So what have I been up to in terms of sewing? Well, I've been quite productive actually over the last couple of weeks, and I will share all of that with you right now. So I think I spoke to you about this pouch on my last Friday Sews. I've been very kindly gifted this fabric from UK Fabrics Online as part of their brand ambassadorship, and the idea is that we should make a bag from it. So they provided the outer fabric, which is a velvet plush. We could pick the design that we're after, and then any fabric we wanted for the lining, which I went for a polka dot fabric. So this was kind of my test of sewing up the fabric before I moved on to sewing up my actual bag pattern. So I've gone with the Trail Tote, which is a free pattern from on the Robert Kaufman website, but it was actually designed by Noodlehead, so it was just brilliant. Really brilliant pattern to sew up, and this is my version. So I've gone for the large. There's two different sizes, and it's got this really gorgeous bottom to it. You do like a dart to create this rounded corner effect, which I've never done before on a bag, and I really like it. And I've also done some piping, which I've made in the same material. Again, I've never done piping, so that's been a real kind of lovely little learning curve. I popped this zip in here, and it's got a nice lined pocket in the same fabric, and the zip actually came from a pattern pouch nest. When I was lucky enough to receive one of Anna's lovely pouches I won a prize from, what did I win it from? So Frugal, how could I forget? And you get a pattern, and then that you choose yourself, and then a number of different notions that Anna puts in as a kind of a surprise element. And one of the items was this zip, so I've utilised it on this. It's actually, I guess, a jean zip, but I just thought it was really, it went really well, so I've used that. On the inside, I've used the polka dot fabric. I've made a slip pocket on the inside using the lovely gorgeous velvet plush, and I have used 2 magnetic closures. Now the pattern just tells you to use 1, but because this is quite a wide opening, quite a big size bag, I thought that it would be safer with 2, so I've added 2, but the pattern actually only calls for 1. So it's got the pocket on the outside and a slip pocket on the inside, and I have added these little clasp things for the strap, and I can pop it across my body, and I'll try and get some photos of that as well. But yeah, really pleased with that one, and I need to send off my blogger post to UK Fabrics online as well this week, so that is something else I need to do. So that was one of the makes that I did this week, or the last couple of weeks should I say. Another make that I did was this make here. This is using the lovely Adam Sews Trio of Pouches pattern. This is the large version. Now this particular fabric was from an old cushion cover that I had, that at one point we had many years ago in our lounge, and I had kept the fabric, kept the cushion cover, because I thought someday I might use it. Well, I have. My husband's birthday is coming up fairly soon in June, and so I just thought this would make a great additional present. I've actually used the zip that was on the cushion, frugal. And I created the bias binding with the same fabric, and I really like the effect that that's given, or the fact that it's cut on the bias, it gives the diagonal. And then on the inside I've just used some khaki fabric that I had in my stash, so that one has turned out really nicely. Now another item that I have near enough finished in the last couple of weeks is the shirt that I was hoping to make for my husband. I have used the Jensen, or is it Jepson? Jensen? I'll pop it along the screen, it's gone from my mind, pattern, which is a wardrobe by me pattern, and I have finished it all but doing the buttons and buttonholes. And the reason for that is the buttons that I had originally thought that I was going to use were just a little bit too big, and whilst I could have got away with it, I just didn't think they were quite right. So I bought some new buttons online. They are just a very basic, and I doubt it's going to be very easy for me to show you, just a very basic navy button. It's got a kind of a little bit of an iridescent look on the outside, and I just bought enough to do the shirt with. So here's the shirt. It's in this gorgeous fabric that my husband nearly didn't get because I love it so much, but he did actually choose this fabric for himself some time ago with the idea of me making him a shirt, and it has come out really lovely. I'm fingers crossed it fits. I have measured it up against one of his ready to wear shirts, and it looks pretty much the same sort of size, so I'm really hoping that it does fit, because you know, it's a reasonable amount of work that goes into making a shirt. So I have done like a collar stand before, but what I have never done is the sort of the, what's this bit called on a shirt. I've never done that bit before, but the instructions were so good, and they also have a YouTube video for all of their, I believe all of their patterns, but certainly they do for this one. And so that just makes it really easy. I'm a total sort of visual learner, so I really like diagrams in pattern instructions, and if there is a video, even better, because anything you get stuck on, you can just watch the video. There's no audio as such to that particular video, but you can see what they're doing. So yeah, really great to follow along with. I've gone with the version that has got this sort of pleated bit at the back. I think that looks like a nice design feature, plus it gives you just that little bit of extra room in the back as well, so I just thought that would help with fit and things. So fingers crossed this fits him. as I say, I've just got the buttonholes and buttons to do, and now that those buttons have arrived in the post, I can get this one finished up. As I say, it's his birthday coming up in June, so this will form part of his birthday present. Another thing that I whipped up, this literally took me not even 10 minutes to make, is I found a little bit of foam, and it was one of those things where the kids were happy playing, Roger was doing something else, and I just wanted something to sew that would just take me just minutes to make, and just kind of every so often I feel like, oh, I just want to sew something, I just want to get on my machine and do something. But I think at that point I didn't have anything cut out, and so I just wanted to make something. So I had a slither of fusible foam left, and obviously I had lots of little offcuts from this shirt, so fabric. So I've just made a little key fob. I've got some of these in my stash, actually I'm coming to the end of it, but these little things, but you can buy them online fairly cheaply, and kind of the more of these things you buy, the cheaper they are. I think I just picked them up from Amazon, but these make great additional gifts. I think great little teacher gifts, and just extras to pop in with friends, presents, etc. So I don't know whether it's a little bit girly, but he's got a girly fabric shirt, so he's got a key ring to go with it too. So that's for him. Now, what else have I been up to? I have made the Anna Allen Pomono pants. Now I will pop a picture in of me wearing those. Obviously it's really hard to see. They are in a black fabric, and they are just a elasticated waist trouser. Now I've gone for the they describe it as a tapered leg. I don't think they're very tapered at all. The wide leg must be really wide, but I do actually really like them. They are a little bit more roomy than I would have liked. I think I could have afforded to size down. I think I made either the largest size or the next to largest size, and I think I could have gone down at least one size in them, but I've got quite a big waist measurement, and hip measurement, and so I wanted to make sure that they were fitting well, but I do think I could afford to size down a little bit, but it won't stop me wearing these, and my plan is I will kind of wear them a bit more and figure out whether I feel that they're a little bit too roomy. Now what I did do on this version is I have added some length to the crotch seam, because I'm quite long in the body, and I wanted them to properly be you know, high-waisted. They are definitely high-waisted, if not a little bit too high-waisted. So I think I added 2 inches, which was probably a little excessive. I could have done probably an inch and a half tops, but they are very high-waisted and definitely fulfilled my brief of needing to be high-waisted. I also added 2 inches to the length of the trousers just at the bottom. I just added it on at the bottom of the leg, because I'm quite tall and I wanted to make sure that there was enough fabric there. I think I actually, when I cut them out, because I didn't actually draw it on, I just kind of cut roughly an additional 3 inches on, knowing that that would probably be way too much, but I could cut it off. So I think I cut about an inch off the bottom and then hemmed them, but actually they're probably still a little bit too long, and so I could have easily got away with sort of an inch and a half, maybe just an inch on there, but I'm glad that I did that, because obviously it's easier to remove fabric but you can't necessarily add it. So yeah, another make that was really quick and easy to do, quite enjoyable, and definitely fulfilled a need that I have in my wardrobe of some black trousers, or sort of darker coloured trousers that are just kind of a more basic in your wardrobe that I can team with some of my brighter tops and things. And these particular trousers are smart enough that I can wear them to work, but I can also wear them casually at the weekend and things as well. So yeah, really pleased with that particular make, and I'll definitely look at making more versions. I think I just need to tweak the sizing slightly just to make that just spot on for me. Now the other thing that I have started this week, but it is definitely a work in progress so far, is the Friday Pattern Company Donny shirt. Now this has been a real kind of favourite in the community since it's been released, and I couldn't help but jump on the bandwagon with this one. I actually don't often buy patterns straight away when they're released. I often will wait to see other people's versions. Sometimes I don't necessarily like the styling, and so it takes me a little bit of time to work out whether it be something that I want to make and I think will work for me. But I just thought that this one would be really good, and I saw quite a few versions that other people had made quite early on that I thought, yes, I think this is one that I want to try. It looks really relatively simple to sew up. It takes relatively small amount of fabric as well, and I thought it would be a great one for summer. Just, you know, wearing a shirt, a sort of casual shirt, as an alternative to wearing t-shirts and things all the time in the summer, I just think it's really nice. You can obviously pair it with trousers, jeans, a skirt, whatever, and I just thought that would be a really useful addition in my wardrobe. So I a few weeks ago now, I popped into my local charity shop, and they were selling a few bits of fabric that obviously people had donated. Now I don't normally have much success where I live with charity shop finds in terms of sort of pieces of fabric or old sheets or anything. I just, you know, I don't ever have any luck. However, I stumbled upon this fabric, which I think it would be described as a seersucker because it's got kind of this sort of bumpy texture. And I got a piece, I don't know, it was fairly narrow, but probably around about either between 1.5 meters, must have been near to 2 meters, I would have thought, in length, which was perfect amount for this shirt because it doesn't take up huge amounts of fabric. But as I say, the fabric was fairly narrow, and I think I paid about £2 for it. So I thought, well, this is a great bit of fabric to try this pattern out on as kind of a wearable twirl. I'm very much hoping it turns out lovely because as you all probably know by now, I really very much like green, in particular sort of tealy based colours, and yeah, so it's definitely my colour. So I have sort of done a reasonable amount on it. I need to attach the facing on the inside, etc. There's a couple of bits I noticed when I was giving the collar sort of a light press that I just nicked in the fabric slightly, so I just need to just unpick in a couple of tiny places just to make that sit a little bit neater, and then give it a really good press. And as I say, attach that facing, and then the back panel needs to go on. Then you do the burrito method, I think, add the sleeves in, and then you sew the sleeves in the side on the flat, which is quite nice, rather than having to like set in the sleeve. Although I think with the sleeve head you do add a little bit of gathering just to add a little bit of room at the top of the sleeve head, and you know, just to add to the pattern, I guess. So yeah, that one's coming together quite nicely, and so it is my work in progress for this week. So quite a productive couple of weeks for me, which has been lovely. I'm not quite sure how I've managed to fit it all in, if I'm honest with you, because work continues to be ridiculous, and working full time and 2 kids, etc. But somehow I think just I've just been squeezing in little bits here and there, and it's none of the projects, well, I guess the shirt was reasonably involved, but none of the projects have been vastly involved, and things that I've been able to sort of do in stages, pick up and do sort of 20 minutes here, half an hour there, etc. And it's all just sort of added up. So definitely sort of shows how you can fit it in if you want to. So those are all the things that I have been making this week and last week. Now on to some challenges that are going to be running in the month of June. Now I'm sure there's lots more challenges being run, so if anybody knows of any others, please do let me know in the description, in the comments box below, because I'm sure other people would like to know about them as well. But there are two challenges that I think I will probably be taking part in June, and I thought I'd share those with you. The first is So Fruity, which is run by the lovely Yvette from Boston Sandwich. Yvette has run this challenge for 2 or 3 years now, I think, and Yvette is the person behind, with her and her husband, behind the app Stash Hub, so which is a app where you can record all your patterns and fabrics, etc., and you can match them up and things. Great app. But she also once a year runs this So Fruity challenge, and the idea is that you sew up your fruity themed fabrics into an item, or it doesn't necessarily, they don't actually have to be like a novelty fruit themed fabric. It could be a colour, it could be like a zesty orange, or you know, a strawberry red, or something along those lines that has got a sort of a fruity vibe to it, if you like. So I'll link to Yvette's Instagram page, etc., on below, and so that you can get all the details from there. But the idea is that you post your makes. I think I'm not sure whether it's a post on the last day of the month scenario, or just post within the month of June. I can't quite remember, but if you head over to Yvette's Instagram, you'll find out all the details. Now the other challenge that I am aware of, and I'm very much hoping to take part in this coming month in June, is being run by the lovely Bianca, who has got a YouTube channel over here on YouTube, which is B Silver Creates, and she's the same name on Instagram as well. Now Bianca is running a great challenge this month to raise sort of awareness and funds for UK blood pressure charity. Now sadly her father passed away in the early part of the year, with hypertension related issues, and Bianca would like to raise awareness for sort of blood pressure related issues, whilst getting us to be creative, etc. So the idea behind this particular challenge is that you sew up something that you've been on your mind, been on your sewing list for a little while, or for could be a big while, and then you post your makes throughout the month of June, using the hashtag, let me make sure that I have got it right, so blood pressure UK 23, and then you just tag in B Silver and also UK Fabrics Online. So that's a great challenge. We've always got a list of makes that we've been meaning to get on and do for a while. Now one of mine is the Sorrento jacket from Sew Over It, which is in, I believe it's her Summer Dreaming ebook, and it is something that I've been wanting to sew up for some time. So I think June might be the month to do that, and that might well be my make for that particular sewing challenge. So thank you to both Yvette and Bianca for running lovely challenges within the month of June that kind of just get our motivation going and things, don't they? So moving forward for this week ahead, what have I got planned? Well, I have got another lovely sewing social this weekend with the lovely Katherine from Soverton Makery, the one that she runs here in Hampshire. And so I'll be going to that on Saturday, hoping to see some familiar faces and perhaps a few new faces as well. So yeah, really looking forward to that. It's always just so lovely being in a room with lots of other like-minded people who all just love sewing or other crafty related activities, because it isn't exclusive just to sewing. You can bring along your crochet or your knitting, your hand sewing, etc., whatever. The idea is just to be kind of together with lots of other like-minded people. So really looking forward to that, and I'll have to think about what I'm going to be taking along to sew up. Now so this week I'd really like to get that Donny shirt finished, so if I haven't already finished that by Saturday, I might take that one along. And my husband has also asked me to make him a bucket hat, and a friend who I previously made a bucket hat for her son for his birthday, I think it was last year, it might have been even been the year before, I can't quite remember, has asked me to make him another one. Now I don't know about you, but I often feel a bit funny when other people other than sort of family members ask me to make things for them, but on this particular occasion I was more than happy to do so. This particular friend is really good to us, and she often will take my older son out you know, on sort of play dates and things, so I just thought it was a really nice way to kind of return the favour and help her out in a way that I can. So those are my plans for the week ahead. I think that will keep me reasonably busy, and I am very much looking forward to, as I say, the sewing social that I'm going to be attending as well. So I think I will round up for today. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you would consider doing so. Thank you to everybody that does like, watch and subscribe. It really does mean the world to me. So for now, I will say goodbye. I hope you have a brilliant weekend. So take care. Happy sewing. Bye bye.